What is going on with EOS? Why is the price suddenly rising that much? We're up more than 20% today. Who's behind this rally? Who's buying? Who's selling? Let's have a look behind the price data. Let's actually figure out what's going on, whether or not it still makes sense to buy EOS right now. Now we're currently at $1.42. We are up 24% today, 90% this week, and more than 260% this month. What is causing this rally? Now there's a very interesting rotation happening in the market. What we see here behind me is the Bitcoin dominance. And Bitcoin as a fraction of all of crypto tended to go up. So Bitcoin became more and more important over time. And that was due to the ETF inflows, right? There's now 4% annualized supply absorption by the Bitcoin ETFs. And that caused not only the price to go up, but also to Bitcoin gain ground versus the rest of crypto. But now, recently, in the last few days, this is crashing down. It moved from 61% of all of crypto being Bitcoin to now only 55%. Or in other words, the altcoins are rallying. It seems like we are in altcoin season. This is the others dominance. So it shows how much of all of crypto is in the altcoins that are not in the top 10. And EOS is counted towards that others dominance. EOS is at place number 60 in terms of market cap. Now the top performers in the last week were mainly the altcoins that have been around for quite a long time. Some people call this the boomer coins. So all of those tokens are held massively by the market makers and by the centralized exchanges, and they've all seen a bull run in the past. So they're around for several years: IOTA, Hedera Hashgraph, Tron, etc. And EOS is part of that club as well. Now, is this all just a bullish macro environment, or is there something specific for EOS going on? Let's have a look at the usage of EOS. Let's have a look at the DeFi protocols. Let's try to figure out what is happening. So have a look at this table here. This shows the value that's locked up in the top EOS decentralized exchanges, and that tended to go up quite a lot, a tripling in the last month for the EOS Rex. And this is then how that looks like for the entire ecosystem for EOS. So this is the total value locked over time. But here's now the big question: is this recent appreciation here due to the EOS price going up, simply people buying EOS, simply the market makers pushing up EOS, or is this actually adoption on chain? So is more money flowing in, or are simply just the current valuations going up? We can answer this question by not looking at the US dollar denominated total value locked, but by switching to the EOS denominated total value locked. And this tells us a very different story. It tells us that in the last days, the total value locked measured in EOS tended to rather go down. So 100% of this rally here is simply just the EOS price going up. It is not more usage of the DeFi protocols. Now here's the thing: when we buy an altcoin, we want to get more performance versus just buying Bitcoin, right? The altcoins and Bitcoin are highly correlated to one another. So when one thing goes up, the other thing goes up as well, and vice versa. When they go down, they all crash at the same time. Thus, if we invest in an altcoin, we need to get better returns compared to just Bitcoin. Bitcoin has the least risk, thus it also should have the lowest returns, at least relative to the altcoins that we are buying. Now here is the unfortunate chart for EOS. This is EOS relative to Bitcoin. So not in US dollars, but relative to Bitcoin. And unfortunately, EOS did not outperform Bitcoin. It actually underperformed Bitcoin by 96%. So yes, there is currently a rally, but that rally in the grand scheme of things is just a small little blip. Since the beginning of the month, EOS outperformed Bitcoin by 162%. And this tells us something very important. Most altcoins tend to underperform Bitcoin most of the time. Only a minute number of altcoins can outperform Bitcoin over the long term. In other words, altcoins are created for trading. Altcoins are not vehicles for buying and holding over many, many years. This is how many people got burned, and I hope you will not get burned that way, right? Don't buy EOS now in order to hold it over the next 4 years over Bitcoin. That's a pretty poor strategy. Now, here's the thing. Recently, the altcoins are having a very nice run. What we've got over here is the others dominance. So how much of all of crypto is currently in the altcoins that are not in the top 10? And within a month, this went up by roughly 25%. A lot of money from traditional finance is finally flowing into crypto again. The stablecoin market cap tends to rise. It's even accelerating recently. And that's happening since the beginning of October of last year. What we see over here That's the Terra Luna collapse. This is the Anchor protocol going bust. This is when UST depegged. It started the bear market where also FTX imploded, and then we saw the turnaround at the beginning of October of last year, and now we really see money coming in. All of crypto is going up. This is the bull run. The issue is that especially for the people that just recently start out, most people tend to buy the things that just recently went up. Most people simply buy the things where currently a lot of attention is. But the art in crypto, I believe, is to buy the things before everybody looks at it. Because once, especially the very risky tokens, they are already large, then we mainly see profit taking. For example here, this is the largest meme coins in the pump.fun ecosystem. So that's the launchpad of meme coins on Solana. And just have a look at this, right? This is the performance in the last 7 days. Most of those tokens went down. It's about buying tokens before they become large. For example, over here, this is the GOAT token. It's currently at 70 cents. And I tried to be early on this channel, right? I published a video when it was still at 24 cents. And so this is what this channel is all about, right? It's trying to identify tokens that have positive momentum, a lot of organic growth, but at the same time that still have the 2, 3, 4, 5x potential. And so if you want to be early next time, feel free to subscribe over here. I publish videos regularly. Now, how do I find tokens like GOAT early? Why am I so confident that tokens like this can go higher? The answer is wallet tracking. So the blockchain is 100% transparent, and we can have a look at what are other people doing. For example, over here, right? This is a signal today. We see how influencer CryptoGains bought the agent token for 0.035 cents. That was over here. Afterwards, the price went up by 120%. Then, of course, subsequently, it still went down. It's still up since the purchase. But that's how the game works, right? You want to buy tokens that currently have momentum. You want to take profit very early, and you want to buy the things that other influencers buy. You want to buy the things that insiders are buying. You want to buy the things that other top traders are buying. Now here's that influencer, that CryptoGains influencer. He's currently got more than 130,000 subscribers. He's reaching the 140K, and through on-chain analytics, we found a lot of his wallets. We've got 55 of his wallets that we are tracking, where we get alerts whenever he buys or sells something. And so I just had a look at his recent video. This AI agent crypto will 100% make people millions. That's the strawberry token. So that's published just 19 hours ago when the price was at 26 cents. And we got our alert that CryptoGains bought the token for 17 cents. And so subsequently, the price went up by 215%. But surprise, surprise, once the video hits YouTube, it's already too late. We did see quite a correction subsequently. So have a look at this, right? This is actually 17 hours ago, right? This is the top at 11 p.m. Now it's 4 p.m. And this video was published 19 hours ago, but that doesn't really match with the price. So the video was published somewhere when the price was already here. So something happened between recording of the price and publishing of the video on YouTube. And so here's potentially what happened, right? It's just a guess, but probably CryptoGains bought the token. He found it very interesting for whatever reason. He then potentially talked about this in his premium community. Then some of his people might find the token interesting as well, right? It might have been a recommendation to buy, but it's simply just a mention potentially in that community. A lot of his followers buy the token, and they're pushing up the price further and further. And once the YouTube video hits, that's then when they tend to sell. That's probably why we see the recent decline. And so that just shows how much power there is in wallet tracking. With wallet tracking, we can be among the very early buyers. We can buy directly with the influencers, with the insiders, before all of those other people buy in. It's really about getting an edge in crypto. It's really about learning more than others. It's figuring out the data that most people are too lazy to compile, or they don't have the capacity to compile. Now, I talk now a lot about this single influencer, but it's actually not just CryptoGains that we're looking at. For example, check this out. This is Crypto Banter. They've got 1.1 million subscribers. When they talk about a token in a video and thousands of people watch that video, of course this generates attention. Of course this pushes up the price. And so of course we also have some of their wallets. We've got 33 that we are tracking. Well, have a look at this. this is Alex Becker, 1.5 million subscribers. And we've got 12 of his wallets. I really believe this is the way to make money in crypto. It's not drawing random lines on charts, etc. It's getting an information edge. It's working for that information edge. And so that's why I created a tutorial course just on how to find influencer wallets, how to then set up alerts for those influencers, and how to then also interpret the signals that we get from the alerts. It's 8 videos in total, and it's all part of the premium membership of this channel. Now, I do not pump and dump on this audience, right? We are just trying to find information edge outside of the community. Now, premium is not just about wallet tracking. It's also about backtesting indicators. It's also about risk mitigation, portfolio diversification, on-chain analytics. There's more than 100 tutorial videos in total. Once we have a wallet signal, we of course also have to discuss when should we buy, when should we sell. We have to compare our on-chain analytics. That's why we've got the dedicated chats on the individual altcoins as well. So feel free to check it out. It's currently $165 per month. There's also a 1-week money back guarantee. So in case you don't like premium, in case you don't learn anything, just message me within the first 7 days and I will refund you 100%. There's really zero risk for you. Now, something very interesting recently happened. When I look at my own YouTube analytics, I sometimes find data that isn't yet that well known. And one of those data points was, for example, the marketing spent by crypto channels. So the YouTube advertising is turned on for this channel, and so I do get a bit of revenue from this as well. And here is how much advertisers pay for 1,000 views. And for the last year, that tended to be at around $10 per 1,000 views. Now it's suddenly doubled. And have a look at this. I got this signal already on November 26th, so a bit over 1 week ago. Here is what tends to happen. First of all, people buy into Bitcoin because Bitcoin can simply be held for a long time. And even if we are in a bear market, we can simply just continue dollar cost averaging in, because at some point, Bitcoin relative in US dollars is likely going to be higher, right? There's simply not enough supply for Bitcoin and fiat expands over time. So buying Bitcoin can work pretty much any time if you hold for long enough. Afterwards, once Bitcoin hits new all-time highs and people get excited about crypto again, right? Now, Bitcoin was very close to 100K. Once we have the attention, what then tends to happen is that retail doesn't want to buy Bitcoin anymore because Bitcoin is already high. Retail tends to prefer the small altcoins that can still do the 2, 3, 4, 5x. And so we don't just see that in the advertiser spend, we also see this in the search traffic. So this is a 5-year chart. Bitcoin is in red and crypto is in blue. And of course, we've got our waves. Every now and then Bitcoin is searched a lot because it makes new all-time highs. And the searches for crypto tend to correlate somewhat. But have a look at just this recent change here. Everybody searched for Bitcoin when it was close to 100K. Then the search interest for Bitcoin tended to go down. But have a look at the search interest for crypto. It didn't go down. It's actually at a new high. Of course, relatively speaking, still more people search for Bitcoin than for crypto, but the trend, right, the trajectory in the last weeks is way more positive for crypto than for Bitcoin. So there is a rotation happening. People are interested in trading crypto, not in trading Bitcoin. And so this helps, of course, the market makers, it helps the centralized exchanges, and it also helps EOS. Have a look at the trading volume for EOS in the last 24 hours. It was dominated by Whitebit and Binance. Whitebit is a white labeled version of Binance, so it's simply just a different name for the same thing. And pretty much all of the supply is held by the centralized exchanges. There is zero off-chain trading happening. And pretty much all of the trading happens on the centralized exchanges. There's zero on-chain trading happening. So that's the spot market. And here's the perpetual futures market, the exact same picture. It's dominated by Binance. And so I believe this is just the beginning. The advertisers want to hook a lot of new people. Of course, they first do this with marketing, then they do this with various manipulation of their OG coins. But it seems like this only started. What we've got over here again is the Bitcoin dominance over the long term. And whenever we are in an altcoin rally, this tends to happen very, very quickly, and it tends to happen with extremely strong movements. So over here, Bitcoin dominance went from more than 70% to below 35%. Then we had another altcoin season at the beginning of 2021. And now we seem to be again in that move. Bitcoin dominance did not yet hit the 70%. I was actually hoping for that, but it looks like the centralized exchanges are getting a bit impatient and they're already starting their game now. And so probably we will continue to see this. The Bitcoin price is not necessarily going down here. It might simply just stay at where it is, but but the altcoins are likely going to outperform the rest. And EOS, among other of those older coins, of those boomer coins, is pretty well positioned for that. If you got some value out of this video, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. See you in the next video, or see you in premium. Cheers.